Audience interpretation. Well, depending on how old you are, you might get different things from the game. So audiences may interpret Monkey Island slightly differently. Some younger players may enjoy sort of the colourful nature of the game and the fact that it's set in the Caribbean and that there's fun and there's puzzles, whereas some of the sort of teenage and young adult audience might enjoy some of the more conversations and some of the tongue-in-cheek jokes and some of the references that run throughout. It's not really set out to upset anyone, though. It's quite clearly part of a fun, straightforward point-and-click adventure with a pirate theme. Appeals to lots of different age groups as well. Content and running jokes. I suppose not everybody who plays the game will understand all of the jokes. Some of the younger audiences may not understand some of the in-jokes and some of the tongue-in-cheek references. And some of the references go back to some of the older games, some of the older LucasArts games, so maybe people haven't seen those before, may not understand all of the jokes all of the time, or maybe not find all of them funny or humorous. But certainly there's enough fun element in there to make sure that the audience can engage with what is a fun point-and-click adventure. Quite clearly sets out its stall to be so from the beginning. Passive audience, yeah, well, it's not high octane, quick combat. It's not like you're playing a sports game or a combat game or a quick thinking game, maybe where you've got to react quickly. It's quite passive, and you can stop and you can go away and you can come back. You've clearly got to think about some of the puzzles and mull them over, and then maybe you'd come back and have another idea, or maybe you'd suddenly, whilst you're away from the game, think up the answer and come back and then solve the problem at a later stage. So the idea is that it's not fast-paced and that you can just go through the game and enjoy the story and enjoy some of the puzzles and interact at a slower pace. Preferred readings? Well, the main message in Monkey Island is just simply to tell a good story and enjoy the game. There's no political or underlying message in the game. It does have a good story as it unfolds, heavy link to pirates and that particular period in history. So I suppose anything surrounding that in terms of Pirates of the Caribbean, adventure stories, based on sort of pirate themes, etc., might link in with this kind of theme. Active audience. The game caters for an active audience, allowing them to interact using the commands and the point-and-click interface. Puzzles and adventure, map design and map adventure also come into it because it opens up a map then and you can explore that and then travel between different islands as the game expands and visit different places around the Caribbean. Talk to a wide range of different characters with different kinds of responses, and maybe you've got to adapt the kind of conversation and things you do to please those different characters, and choosing a different response can often then lead to you gaining a solution, whereas a different kind of response against a different character may then solve that particular problem. So it keeps you active with the problem solving element, having to think how you're going to interact with each of the objects, combine objects to make a new object that then might be used for a different purpose. Sometimes thinking outside of the box. So say for example the pot can be used as a helmet to fire yourself out of a cannon, so that keeps you active and thinking, and that's the nature of a sort of strategic adventure game.